Why is your serve going in the net? Usually it's because you're hitting down. There's a common myth. People think that the racket faces down when you hit the ball. You have to be over 7 feet tall to actually have the racket face in this position when you hit. Think of the racket face more vertical, or that you're giving it some spin, some top spin as you hit the ball. So don't think down. The other thing is, don't look at the service line when you're serving, because if you're looking at that service line, you'll see that halfway up the net, and that's where you'll serve the ball, right into the net. Look at a spot above the white tape on the net. You've got to keep your head and chest up also. That's another thing. If you drop your head or your chest too soon, you want to keep your head and chest up at contact. If they drop too soon, remember, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That racket comes down and you hit it in the net. The other thing is, you might be holding an Eastern grip and hitting the ball too flat. You need to go more towards continental with the grip on number 2. The index knuckle on 2. That way you can learn to impart some topspin. So I'm going to hit a few serves, and I'm going to be thinking head and chest up. And I want that racket vertical. So I'm thinking head and chest up right now. Okay, that was pretty good, felt good. Keeping my head and chest up, okay? And you can even exaggerate the cue a little bit. If you're having trouble with hitting the ball in the net, hold it for 1 beat. So you're thinking head and chest up, and think 1 beat, keep it up longer, like this. Head and chest up, 1 beat, okay? So don't look down too soon. So your head and chest are up, 1 beat. Okay, that's the idea if you're hitting the ball in the net. The other thing is, you need to learn to develop a little topspin. Now you have to go to a continental grip with the index knuckle on 2. And what happens is, you're actually hitting the ball in this position with your wrist in this position. And you're hitting the ball, let's say at, if you've got a clock here, here's 12, here's 6. You're hitting the ball at 7 o'clock and brushing to 1. Now you don't want to toss too high on a topspin serve, because that way, if the ball's too high, your racket's all played out up here. You want it lower so you can hit the ball in this position and get the full snap. To practice the topspin, you're thinking of brushing up, and you're going from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Just snap it straight up almost. You're trying to bend the ball over the net. Remember, topspin pulls the ball down. Once that ball starts spinning forward, it creates air pressure on top of the ball. So I'm tossing it a little lower, and I'm going up. Okay? That'll give you that little kick on the ball too. So just think, peel the orange and go from 7 to 1 o'clock, or maybe even 8 to 2 would be okay. 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Think, peel the orange, and you'll hear the sound. When you hit it right, you'll hear that cutting sound. But most people, when they cut it, they're not aiming high enough. So make sure you aim high enough, so that way you can bend the ball over the net. The other thing that could happen when you're hitting down is you're tossing the ball too far in front. Now it's good to toss the ball in front because you want to get your weight into it, you want to lean into it. But make sure when you toss it out there that your body leans with you. Because what happens is, if you toss it out in front and the body stays back, if you get the ball out there but the body's back here, you're going to hit it down. So make sure when you toss that you're like that leaning tower of Pisa. You're leaning in as you hit. Now see how I went forward there? So I'm here, now I'm just falling into the court. Okay? Remember years ago, they used to have that guy on the commercial, the Nestea plunge. The guy was standing next to a pool and he just kind of fell into the pool. That's the feeling you want. You want to fall into the court. So you're here, just toss it out in front and lean in. That way, your toss won't be too far out in front. You want it in front, but not too far. You don't want the racket like this. You want it vertical when you hit. Those are some things that'll prevent you from hitting the ball in the net on the serve.